On June 4th, 2005, 22-year-old Henry Murray and 23-year-old Pete von Niekerk were spearfishing off the coast of South Africa in False Bay. The two men had been out for about an hour. They had swam out about 150 meters offshore, and Henry had just dove down to the bottom. It was only 20, 30 feet deep, some 7, 8 meters deep where they were, and Henry had just speared a fish when all of a sudden Henry comes rocketing up to the surface next to Pete, and he's yelling, "There is a huge great white shark down there. We have to swim back to shore right now." So the two men begin booking it as fast as they can, swimming back to shore. And when they get to within about 100 meters of shore, Pete, who's just in front of Henry, hears this thrashing behind him, and he turns around, and there's this huge great white shark, at least 16 feet or at least 5 meters long, and it's taking chomps at Henry. But Henry, he's got his spear gun. It's not loaded because he's just speared that fish, remember, but he's using that spear gun to just poke and stab at the shark, try and beat it away. And this works. He gets the shark to leave him alone. Now, there's a couple witnesses on the beach. One of them's name is Dave, another one is Grant, but there's several witnesses and they report seeing the same thing. This huge shark surfaces and it makes several lunges at Henry, but Henry is able to successfully beat the shark back. So the two men, they begin swimming again. Again, Henry is right behind Pete when Pete again hears this enormous roar of water behind him, and he turns around again just in time to see this shark breaching pretty much completely out of the water, and it has Henry in its mouth up to his shoulders. So in other words, his legs, his entire torso, his arms are pinned inside. The only thing that's sticking out of this shark's mouth is Henry's head and his shoulders, basically. The people on the beach report seeing the exact same thing. This huge 16 to 18 foot long shark breaches completely out of the water. It's got Henry in its mouth before it comes crashing back down and it dives down. Now, at this point, Pete, he doesn't know what else to do, so he dives down after this shark. It's now pretty close to him, and he still has a spear loaded in his spear gun. He shoots the shark, but this doesn't really do anything. He just watches as he sees the shark swim away with just his friend's head sticking out of its mouth. The next day, fishermen would find that shark. It would still have Pete's spear in it. It was dragging Pete's spear gun along with his dive float. But nothing was ever found of Henry. They found his goggles, his snorkel, and parts of his wetsuit and part of his dive belt. But it is assumed that the shark swallowed him entirely whole.